The most debatable video on YouTube is here, and it's the Premier League predictions for the upcoming 2019-20 season. It's a video football YouTubers make where no one will agree with you. There's going to be hate and there's going to be some positive feedback for the club I'm going to be putting positions into place today. It's not going to please everyone, and I'm not expecting it to please everyone at all. But just like anyone else, I'm giving my own personal opinion on how this league's going to end up at the end of the season. And with the predictions I've put out, there are a few debatable ones and there are a few ones I'm a bit like, okay, it could be bang on here. There's also a biased one from my point of view, but I mean, you know it's going to be coming because I've got a lot of explaining to do for Brighton, and I've got a lot of explaining to do in general with this whole Premier League standing. So without further ado, I'm actually recording this on the Friday after the transfer deadline window, so I know all the signings everyone's made and whether that will affect my standings. I've changed a few of them before this video, to be honest, because yesterday I thought the transfer window was quite exciting. So we've got a few changes, and we're going to be talking through it for this season, and we're going to be talking about how this league's going to end up. So without further ado, make sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share out this video, and share out and follow my Instagram, Fusion_Josh. Without further ado, let's get into this video, and let's see where we place every single team in the league. So starting off in 20th position. Now this is one everyone has kind of gone for. Most people have gone for Brighton and some people have gone for Sheffield United. For me, I am one of those people who are going to be putting Sheffield United in bottom place. They've made a few great additions in McBurney. They've put in, I think they've got Ravel Morrison. On his day, he's absolutely unplayable, but I think for the Premier League and for a team like Sheffield United, he's a good player, he's a flary player, but it depends what kind of Ravel Morrison you get, and I don't think he's going to be a great one for Sheffield United this season. I don't think they're strengthened enough. However, the core of their team they have kept, and I think they will do alright and better than what most people think. And this goes for all of the bottom three teams. I think it's going to be really tight this year, and it's going to be the tightest Premier League relegation finish there will be for a long time in terms of every single third place, and I really can see this being one of them which will be decided on the final day. Sheffield United 20th place. In 19th place, I have gone with the team 45 minutes away from me, and that is Norwich. Now, that is a debatable one, and it's not going to be one people are going to be agreeing with me on, because I think people are actually going to be putting them to stay up. However, looking at it, the transfer window they've had hasn't been the greatest. I mean, they have kept a lot of their key players, and they've kept the core of their team, which is the main kind of aspect Norwich wanted to kind of do, which have done so. They've got a great togetherness, and they've got a great team, and they've got a great squad, to be honest. And after going to a few games last season, they do play some brilliant football, but getting caught on that counter-attack by teams like Liverpool, Man City, and even teams like Brighton. I think Brighton are going to surprise a lot of people this year, and so I've put Brighton quite higher up than you probably think. Teemu Pukki, will he keep scoring goals in the Premier League? I'm not too sure. These are like Championship players going into the Premier League, and will they be proven in the Premier League? You're not really too sure, so it'll be an interesting season, but Norwich in 19th place for me. I don't know how they're not relegated yet, but for me, I'm going to put Burnley. Now, Burnley for the final place, I mean, they're just Brexit FC. Burnley, Brexit, it's the same kind of thing for them, okay, let's be honest. But for me, Burnley 18th place, I think they will do alright, but then I don't think they're going to do the greatest. They made a signing in Jay Rodriguez and Danny Drinkwater on loan yesterday. It'll be an interesting one, it'll be a tight one, and you can really call the bottom three from like 6 or 7 teams here, you really can. So it's going to be an interesting one, and I think Burnley for me is going to finish in 18th place. Sean Dyche has done a brilliant job for Burnley, but I mean, time must be running out for Burnley in the league, and it's pretty same for Brighton too. So I've got explaining to do for that one, but for Burnley in 18th place I've gone with. 17th place I've gone for Crystal Palace, Brighton's rivals of course, and for me I think Crystal Palace are going to struggle this season, and that's not me saying it from a biased point of view. I think them keeping Zaha, but Zaha not being in really happy terms at Palace, that's really going to affect the moral of the squad and moral of the team for the upcoming season, and that's why I think Crystal Palace could actually jump into the bottom three this season and get relegated. They haven't made the greatest of signings. Gary Cahill, I mean, yes, he's a leader, he's all that, but age is getting to him, and I don't think it's going to be to the standard they probably would have hoped, and Glenn Murray will probably score another banger from outside the box again, at their own backyard. By losing Wan-Bissaka and not replacing him, it's going to be a massive loss. I'm putting someone like Joel Ward in to like replace him. It's not going to be the greatest for Crystal Palace at all, so I think this season they're going to struggle, but for me I'm going to put him 17th place. 16th place I've gone with Newcastle United. Now, the reason behind this is the ownership of the club, and I feel like it could affect the players. Now, I've tipped them to stay up, however I think they've made some class signings this year, and honestly they've made some really good signings which I think actually they could do better than people think this year. But I put it with 16th only for the fact about the ownership of the club, and the fans can turn on the players, turn on the club, and it will affect the players mentally too. And I think Steve Bruce being a manager is not really being proven in the Premier League. You don't really know what to expect from him. So this season will be interesting to see how Steve Bruce will do, but also in the side of the ownership of Newcastle and how the fans will react to that side of things. 15th place are going with Aston Villa. They've spent an enormous amount of money this year. I think it's about £130 million. That is a huge amount of money, and will they all prove themselves in the Premier League? I'm not too sure. Jack Grealish is going to be great in the Premier League. I can see John McGinn signed a new 5-year contract with Villa yesterday. And that is like a really good signing in itself, and they've made some brilliant additions in the back line. Tyrone Mings coming in on a permanent transfer. They've got, I forgot the striker up front, but he's really good, and I think he's already been scoring in the pre-season for them. So for me, Aston Villa 15th, they're going to be doing good this season in my opinion, and I think they could do better than 15th to be honest. 14th place I've gone with Southampton, and now I know what you're saying, Brighton, I'm putting them higher than 14th? Yeah, I know. So yeah, Southampton 14th for me. I think they've made some great additions. They lost Charlie Austin. I think he is a great player, and I think that'll be a great loss for them. However, Charlie Austin, he hasn't really been doing great last season, but he will be a great loss for the attacking options up front. I think Southampton have made a few additions to their squad, but I'm not too sure. I haven't done too much research on Southampton. However, what I do know is since the manager has come in last season, they've done absolutely wonders. 13th place I've gone with Bournemouth. Now, still, no Brighton. That's coming up. Bournemouth I've put in 13th place. They signed Harry Wilson on loan, I think it was. I'm not sure if it was permanent or was it on loan. I think that is a great addition. However, will he prove himself in the Premier League? That's another question you've got to ask. And will that be the case? I'm not really too sure. Eddie Howe's done a great job, and for what his budget is with Bournemouth, and he has been spending big with Bournemouth in previous transfer windows, but I think this time round I'm going to put Bournemouth 13th, and I think they'll have a good season. 12th place, my Brighton and Hove Albion. Now it's not mine, it's Tony Bloom's, but I mean, I put Brighton in 12th place, and I think that is going to be a really biased one, but let me just explain this. Chris Hughton played the most boring football any football fan can watch last season, hence why we got rid of him. Tony Bloom thought it was a great change to have like a new era for the club. Now, we played defensive football throughout the whole season, losing 5-0 to Bournemouth, losing 2-0 to Cardiff. Now, losing to the games you would think would win. 1-0 to Southampton at home. Home record last year went out the window, and we were absolutely appalling. Now, throughout the whole season, home and away, we've been absolutely godsmack awful. Now, I think this season with a new change, new manager, new system, new tactics, it's going to absolutely change. Now, bringing in signings like Mwapwa, I'm not really sure how to pronounce his name, but a striker from Brentford we signed for 20 million. Trossard, who's absolutely impressing in pre-season already, is absolutely incredible, and that's a great sign to put on the wing. Getting rid of Knockout, people think it's a massive blow for Brighton, but I don't think it's a massive blow. Yes, it's a great one to bring off the bench and all that, etc. But we've got so many wings at the club. Jahanbakhsh under an attacking manager is going to be brilliant. I even think Solly March at right wing back or left wing back is going to be a great one for Brighton this season, and playing a 5 at the back formation or 3-4-3 I think it is, it's going to be great. And I think having Shane Duffy, Lewis Dunk, Webster from Bristol City in the back line, including Montoya and obviously Solly March or Bernardo on the left, that's going to be great. And I think that's going to be people are underestimating. And pre-season we've had some great results, and we've been scoring goals. We beat Birmingham 4-0 in a pre-season friendly. I think it's been absolutely brilliant for us, and I think for the attacking style I've seen so far, which we haven't even gone into the real season yet, it's been incredible. And I think there's still work to be done with, you can tell, but bringing in Webster, bringing in leaders like him, and bringing great additions like him is going to be great. It's going to be great for the club and going to be great for the team. And I think this season people are going to be surprised on where Brighton finish, and I could be absolutely wrong, but I'm putting my neck on the line for this one. Aaron Moy signing for Brighton too is going to be absolutely huge. I think on loan that's going to be great. Maybe replaces Stevens or Proper. You don't really know, although he could just be one to be on the bench, and that's why we loaned out Kyle. And I think signings were made this year. I think that's really good, and I think my prediction, I'm really happy with for Brighton to finish 12th position. I think that's going to be people are going to be a bit hated towards me on. People need to understand that Brighton's depth in the squad is really, really good. Like, we've got wingers on the bench like Jahanbakhsh. Locardi is going to be starting this season, I think he will be. You got Sonny March, who can play left wing back, left wing, and he's absolutely class, and you guys know that. Murray, Andone, and then now you've got Mwapwa. You don't know who's going to start, but you've got great firepower coming off the bench to change the game in a game situation. So you don't really see the kind of like behind the scenes and kind of the depth. And people are saying we don't have a strong enough team. We've got more than a strong enough team, and I think with the manager manager now, we're going to prove a lot of people wrong. 11th position, I've gone with West Ham. They haven't made great signings, however, I think they're going to have an average season for themselves, and I think finishing 11th for them will be the one for them to finish on. And I haven't really got much more explanation to have for West Ham, but I'm going to be moving on because I'm not going to lie, I don't really have much to say, and I just put West Ham at 11th because I just guessed, to be honest. 10th place, I've gone with Watford. They've made a signing yesterday in Sarr. I'm not sure what the fee was, but he's come from Rennes. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but that's a great addition for Watford, and I hope he does not start on Saturday against Brighton. That's all I can say. But they have had a great transfer window, signing Danny Welbeck. Obviously, it will take time for him to be fit and all of that. But I think Watford have a good season again this year, and I think 10th place for them, mid-table, will be the one they will be finishing on. 9th place, I've gone with Leicester. Now, this is a debatable one. They've made a lot of great signings, to be honest. I wanted to put them 7th, I wanted to put them 8th, but I put them 9th instead. So I've gone with 9th for Leicester, and I wouldn't be surprised if they finish 8th or break into the 7th, or maybe top 6. I'm not too sure, but it could be a surprise this year. They've made some great signings. However, the loss of Harry Maguire is going to be massive for Leicester, and I think they will struggle in the defensive department, but they've made some great additions and great quality they've brought in for themselves this year. In 8th position, I've gone with Wolves. They're currently undergoing a European spell with qualifiers. This is going to affect their Premier League for the start of the season, in my opinion, like it did for Burnley a year ago. And I think Wolves will struggle, but then find their grips back when it comes to, like, they're out of the Europa League and they'll go into the Premier League, and I think they'll do all right, and I think they'll finish in the top half again. They've got great players. They haven't really made too many great additions. I don't think they have actually made any great signings, but I mean, I think for them, Wolves will finish 8th, but have a rocky start to the season. In 7th place, I've gone with Everton. I think they've had a great transfer window. If they bought in Zaha, that would have been the cherry on top for them. However, I think they've had a great transfer window. They have spent a lot of money. However, bringing in Iwobi will be a game changer for them, in my opinion, and having him on the wing and having him in the squad would be absolutely brilliant for them included. In 6th place, I've gone with Manchester United. This team, they haven't got great attacking options, and they have got Martial, they've got Rashford, they've got Lingard, but they've lost Lukaku, and Man United fans are probably disagreeing with me, but I think that's going to be a massive loss for Manchester United, and I think they're going to be finishing 6th and going to struggle this season. They've got their backline sorted, they've got Harry Maguire in, they've got Wan-Bissaka in, a great right back and a great centre back, and they're two leaders, and they're both really quite young. I'm not sure about Maguire's age, but Wan-Bissaka in particular is very young, and I think he's going to have a great future ahead of him, let's put it that way. The only thing Man United are struggling with right now is the midfield and that actual number 9 striker. And now I think Rashford's going to play a number 9 striker, however, I do think their midfield is a shambles, and Pogba on his day is unplayable, but on some days he's absolutely shite. So you don't really know what to expect from Paul Pogba, but in general the midfield I don't really agree with, to be honest. In 5th place, I've gone with Chelsea. This could be a debatable one, only for the fact that Frank Lampard's come in and they haven't made any signings. They've lost Eden Hazard, and Doy is still, I think, is still out, and I think they could struggle this year, to be honest, and I put them in 5th place just because I think they've got a bit more stability than Manchester United right now. Going into the top 4, I've gone with Arsenal in 4th position. I think they've had a great transfer window. You've seen they've made signings like Pepe, £73 million. I think that's going to be a great addition. I remember talks saying like Basuma wanted to bring Pepe to Brighton like at the start of the transfer window, which was really weird. Now he's gone to Arsenal for £73 million, so he could really open the pocket for that transfer. But I mean, would do. But I kind of sorting out the defence with David Luiz and they brought in Tierney on the deadline day. It's going to be massive, and I think that's going to be one which is going to be game changing, that, and I think that'll be the transfers which will bring them into the top 4 this season. 3rd place, I've gone with Tottenham. They've made a few good signings. They've actually signed players this time. Ndumbele, I'm not too sure to say his name, but he's a great signing. CDM is a box-to-box player, and I think he'd be a great addition to Tottenham this year. Ryan Sessegnon too, they've also signed, and I think that's going to be a great youngster going through the ranks at Tottenham, and I think he could break into the team in the next coming years. 2nd place, Liverpool. 1st place, Man City. That's one where people will not disagree with me on, and I think that's one everyone has gone with this season. Man City to win the league. They've lost Sane for pretty much the season with surgery. He may come back during the end of the next season, but I'm not sure how long he's going to be out for. Man City, they're unplayable. Like, no one can beat them other than the odd teams they have an odd day off against. And Liverpool, they haven't made any signings this summer. Man City have made a signing. They've signed a Derby goalkeeper on loan or something like that. So I think for me, Man City top. They're miles above everyone else. However, Liverpool are just behind, and if they made that one signing which could be like the game changer for them, that's the one which could be competing with Man City for the title. So for me, Man City top, Liverpool in second, and that is everything on my Premier League predictions for this upcoming year. I'll do a review at the end of the season with my Premier League predictions, and hopefully I'll get a few right, and hopefully I'll just get the whole thing spot on, and I'll put my house on the lottery. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like on this video. I've got a brand new series coming on the 21st of August, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled on that one. It's going to be great. It's going to include pretty much all the teams in the 92 of this Football League and Premier League, so keep your eyes on that, and yeah, also keep an eye on my Instagram for updates and that. I use Instagram so much, so make sure you follow up. It's on the screen now, and tell me what you think of my predictions, whether you think I'm deluded or whether you think my predictions actually spot on with what I'm saying for each club. If you enjoyed it, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in another video. Goodbye, guys.